What's up, everybody? I'm Zapper, your favorite Ascendant 2 Yapper. I peaked 582 elo, okay? Leave me alone. That's higher than Woohoojin, I'm pretty sure, okay? Today, we're talking about aim and we're talking about confidence. Maybe you're lacking in one, maybe both. Or maybe you're already a godly freak in nature. Either way, you're watching because you're curious. And trust me, this video will satisfy all your lustful desires. Okay, fine. I'll cut to the chase. I started the new season of Ranked with a horrendous win rate, which got me desperate. I lost all my confidence, felt like a piece of shit, and I could not hit a single shot even if it meant saving my dearest loved ones. So gotta fix that, am I right? Before I get into the nitty gritty, let me be clear. This video is about aim and confidence. If you've played Valorant for more than a day, I'm sure you know confidence plays a massive role in performance. It's seen in literally every aspect of life. You got people dressing up as fucking construction workers, walking into music events for free like they own the place. But just knowing the importance of confidence doesn't mean shit if you don't know how to develop it. I realize I'm just a 23-year-old kid yapping into a microphone and I have absolutely no credentials. So instead of making up random shit, expecting you to listen, here's what the science says. These are the ways in which confidence is developed. Social learning, which is basically acquiring confidence through experiences and relationships. Positive thinking, which is cultivating a confident state of mind. Practice and training, building confidence through repetition and skill development. Knowledge, which is gaining expertise in a particular area. Social settings, which is developing social confidence by observing conversations and preparing ahead of time. I'm not saying you need to master all of these to be a confident player, but if you're heavily lacking in any of these areas, you will continue in your struggles. For example, when you have a fucking rage monster on your team, most players are gonna take a hit to their confidence because your social environment matters. If your confidence in the other areas isn't large enough to overpower this confidence debuff, then you're gonna struggle very heavily to not only win the game, but to enjoy yourself as well. If you have a duo who is a great personality, fun to be around, and that you just click with, that is instantly going to give you a confidence boost, which is often why people preach playing with a competent duo. However, that is a lame ass answer, because if you're anything like me, you don't want to have to rely on anybody else. You are craving to be that solo queue demon who can just queue up whenever and just demolish an entire lobby single-handedly. The problem is that if you want to accomplish this, you are limiting the areas in which you can derive confidence. Luckily, I figured out how to achieve primal confidence regardless of that fact. Which takes me back to my story. I was stuck at the start of the new season with a sub 40% win rate, and I had to change things up because that's really bad. I would play ranked whenever I had the chance, study proper plays, and work my hardest to play as smart as possible in ranked. Despite this fact, I was failing fucking miserably. My confidence was tanking beyond all realities, and I was desperately clawing for anything that could get me out of this terrible slump. Eventually, I figured out what was going on. I was underestimating my competition. Mind you, I have not aim trained consistently for at least 6 months at this point. I'll be the first to admit, this was a brainlit decision by me, especially considering my aspirations of hitting Radiant. Can you really blame me though? Every fucking coach on the goddamn planet seems to think aim doesn't mean shit. All you need is good movement and good decision making, and you can hit whatever rank you want. That's a load of steaming hot crap. If you want to improve at Valorant, which is an insanely competitive, highly complex game with millions of players who also want to improve, it's absolutely essential that you progress faster than the others around you. I don't care if you're low rank. If anything, you will reap the benefits of aim training way quicker than someone who is already at the top 1%. My point is, I thought my aim was good enough already because I had some decent scores on aim labs and Kovaaks. But without consistent training, my aim stagnated, and as a result, my confidence evaporated into thin air. How in the world could I expect myself to be a confident player when I would lose gunfights after making the correct decisions? I had the knowledge, but I lacked the practice and training, which begs the age-old question: how do you know when your aim is good enough? And it depends on your goals. However, I'd say staying consistent until you reach your desired rank is a good goal to set. If you want to hit Plat, for example, aim train once a day until you reach Plat. For me, I'm not stopping my aim training until I hit Radiant. During this time, it's absolutely essential that you're also playing Deathmatch right after your training. This allows you to better translate your aim training gains into Valorant. There's a lot more to worry about inside Valorant, such as enemy movement, your movement, and even factors such as crosshair placement play a big role. Personally, I skip going into the range entirely because I feel like it's just a waste of time. It's just a shittier version of AimLab or Kovaaks. Maybe all this sounds intimidating, but the fact of the matter is that if you really want to progress, you need to be setting time aside every day to craft and develop your aim. This is the practice and training that is required for building up your confidence. As you train more, your confidence will inevitably increase because your ability to land shots will increase as well. As you land more shots, you will win more fights, and you will be less scared to take the fights in the first place. Everyone's experienced it before. Top of the world, dueling everyone in the lobby, and just winning your gunfights no matter what. That's what confidence feels like, and the only way to increase the consistency of that is through your training. If you've made it this far into the video, I'm sure you're seriously dedicated to improvement, just like me. And so now I'm gonna share with you guys my current aim training routine that was crafted specifically for aiming in Valorant by one of the top aimers in the entire world. His name is Bardoz, and if you don't know him already, I definitely recommend checking him out. It's okay if you're busy as shit too. I am also. You really only need 30 to 45 minutes a day for training. Make sure you set it aside ahead of time so that you can guarantee to at least get one training session in per day. Consistency here is extremely important because learning happens when you sleep. So training one day for 7 hours will likely reap you less gains than training 30 minutes per day for 7 days straight. There's science to back this up. I'm not going to get into it, but simple Google search, you could find it. I'm sorry for all of you AimLabs users. This is going to be a Kovaaks routine that I'm using. There's a chance you can find the same scenarios on AimLab, but as of now, I don't really know. Maybe if y'all eat this shit up, I'll scour AimLab myself to find similar scenarios for you guys. As for the training, I want to come clear, first of all. I used to be a score farmer. I had no care in the world for proper technique. If I saw my scores rising, then I must be getting better, right? I was dead wrong. Slap my mama and fill me up with a turkey baster. Training proper technique is 1,000 times more important than farming for high scores. Let's take playing the piano for example. You can play some hard-ass songs with terrible finger placement. If you took the time to train with proper finger placement, your life would be a whole lot easier. But it's going to be boring to do so in the beginning because you won't be able to go as fast as you usually do. This is the problem with aim training. It's much more fun if you just load up and spam the scenarios, trying as hard as you can for a high score. If you have the grit though to train each scenario properly, then when you do hop into Valorant, your shots will be much cleaner and aiming is going to feel 10 times simpler. It's the difference between a crisp one tap and missing your shots by millimeters before whiffing your whole mag. It's a big difference maker that a lot of players don't even consider. Think of it this way. Good technique allows you to land your shots more consistently even if it's slower. So in an aim trainer where you have 60 seconds to farm your score, it doesn't matter much. But in the real game, you only have like half a second. If you fuck up in that half a second in an aim trainer, it doesn't mean shit. But if you fuck up that half a second in Valorant, you're going to look like a complete noob and your team will likely scream at you until their vocal cords burst out, which it's not good for your social environment and that's going to negatively impact your confidence. This video is getting long as shit, but it's just because I care about you guys and I want you to get the most out of your time. If I made this video half-ass, you would probably only train for a day, give up, continue crying yourself to sleep every night, and never get to experience what real confidence feels like. Enough yapping. Here's my training routine. I'm going to include every little detail here so you perfectly understand how you should be training. As long as you train correctly and manage to do so consistently, you will improve. I promise. If not, money back guarantee, skill cap free 99. First of all, I have the Kovaaks code linked in the description. If you literally just copy paste this shit into the search bar at the bottom of the online playlist section, it's gonna download it for you. I like to star that shit so it's easy to find and it's just at the top of my playlist. It's like the only one I play. Before we begin, this is super fucking important and I can't stress this enough. So please listen and please actually do it. You should be playing each scenario 2 times with double your Valorant sensitivity and 2 times with your regular Valorant sensitivity. Doubling your sense comes first. Doing this improves your ability to aim accurately much quicker. Precision at high sense is more difficult and will train your fine motor skills more quickly. So if you play double your sense for 2 reps and then jump into your regular sense for the last 2 reps, micro corrections will feel easier and your accuracy will develop at light speed. Please don't ignore this part, seriously, because I promise it helps progression come way quicker, which I know all of you guys care about. It's tedious changing back and forth every 2 minutes at first. I know that was originally why I didn't want to do this, but you get used to it super quick. And after doing it I've been doing it for like 4 or 5 days now, it helps. It seriously does. So without further ado, let's get right into this shit. The first scenario you're going to be playing, it's called Kovaaks TS Voltaic. You're going to do 4 reps, 2 times double your sense, 2 times regular sense. While you're playing the scenario, this is what you want to focus on. Focus on being very fast between the switches, as in aiming from target to target, but also control your crosshair once you get to the enemy. That means deliberately making sure you stay on target once you reach the enemy, because the targets are moving. It's pretty easy movement, but they are moving. And then every time you kill a target, you want to switch as fast as you can to the next target. You should be using a kill confirm sound because Valorant has that as well. The reasoning behind this is this will help you in those situations where you need a spray transfer and for generally good smooth crosshair placement. The second scenario we're going to play, same thing, 2 times double sense, 2 times normal sense. Your focus here is going to be not over flicking. So when you flick to each target, you want to be landing before the target and not past the target. And you want to make sure you have as clean of lines as possible. So don't be like shaking your mouse when you're going there. Try to do it one fluid motion, getting as close as you can without passing the target. And then after each kill, switch as fast as you can to the next target, just like the previous scenario. The reasoning for this one is simple. The Pokeball version is played first to help you get in the flow of having clean lines and not going unnecessarily fast. The third scenario is going to be another Pokeball scenario. It's Pokeball Auto Wide Wall 6 target. Same thing. I'm going to stop saying it because it is literally for every scenario, but you're going to play twice double sense, twice normal sense. For this scenario, you need to smoothly move from one target to the next and speed up when the targets cluster together. You want to focus on being able to dynamically pace yourself based on what you have on your screen. For this scenario specifically, you want to bind your fire to shift or spacebar so that you can have the same tension on your mouse that you'd have in-game. The reasoning for this is that this type of movement's done all the time subconsciously in Valorant when you go around the map. Just your typical crosshair placement, aiming from angle to angle. You're not necessarily firing, which is why you want to be holding spacebar or shift instead of mouse 1. This is going to help you get to the point where you can flick from angle to angle easily, quickly, smoothly, and you're not going to have to worry about aiming from angle to angle and having to do that correction. It helps you in those clutch situations where you get one kill, you need to flick to another angle, but if you flick incorrectly, the dude might peek out and kill you before you're ready to shoot back. And the quicker you can change from angle to angle, the easier it is going to be to secure those kills in those clutch situations. The next scenario is my favorite, I'll be honest. It's 1 wall, 2 targets reload. Your goal for this scenario is focus on not over flicking. Same thing as the other one, have clean lines between the targets, and then switch as fast as you can after each kill. This is going to be the real simulation of what's going to happen in game, since we're also incorporating firing at the target. Just make sure your accuracy doesn't drop below 85%. Eventually, you'll get to the point where you can reach your high score with like 95% accuracy. This is important in Valorant because you are highly penalized for missing your first shot. So if you learn to just go fast with low accuracy, you're actually gaining a bad habit for Valorant, which is what I would do. And I'm fixing that and I'm improving. And then the next scenario is 5 sphere hipfire extra small. The goal for this scenario is to improve your micro corrections. So really focus on getting a good pace and strengthen your habit of micro correcting quickly and accurately after you do the first initial small angle flick. This one's obvious. You have small window of opportunity to get kills in Valorant, like 300 to 400 MS. And so you need to be able to land your shots with those clean micro corrections to adjust your crosshair placement in that split second before you die. And the better you get at this, the more consistent you're going to be able to like frag out, get kills. It's really important. Next scenario, 6 wall, 18 target, small reload. For this one, we want to focus on being fast and on still having clean lines, even with the awkward angles. There's a lot of situations in Valorant where you're going to have awkward angles, weird spots to aim at. This just helps you with that. The last scenario we're going to be doing is probably the most important. It's called floating heads timing 400%. For this one, we want to focus on not dropping our accuracy under 85%. And we want to avoid useless movements. Because in game, if you miss your shot against targets that are this easy to read, you're probably going to die because of second shot inaccuracy and getting one shot from the enemy. This scenario is super close to what you find in game, so it's going to help you reap those benefits, and aiming at people is just going to feel a lot easier when you get good at this scenario. Long ass video, I know, but if you got this far, just know that I believe in you. You're going to do great things and become a fucking aim god and develop insane confidence. If you stick with this shit, your dreams will become reality. Just you wait and see. Once you reach Radiant, hit me up and we can duo. Much love, you guys. Hope this video helps some of you out. Peace.